Very good evening, students. I hope you are staying at home, you are taking care of yourself. So, let me take the review what we have been learned in our lectures. As per the advanced separation processes concerned, we have been gone through uh, 6 to 7 operations which are used by the membrane separation techniques, such as reverse osmosis, microfiltration, uh, then ultrafiltration, and many operations. So basically, what is membrane? I told you the membrane is a material or a medium through which the separation is taking place by using uh, pores. So as per the diagram shown, so this is the mixture, mixed phase feed has been introduced to the system, and where we are getting permeate fluid through the porous membrane. So it is very simple process. So basically, it is a very minute difference in between filter and membrane. So basically, filter is used for filtration of the solvent from the uh, fluid mixture, or it may be solid plus liquid. But as per the uh, membrane separation concern, we can go for the selectivity, where we are using different type of membranes. By using molecular weight, we can separate the what are the feed particles, and we can get the permeate fluids at the another end. So accordingly, it is very simple technique, and there are a lot of problems regarding using it at commercial level, because handling capacity is very poor, and what are the operating cost is also very high. The maintenance cost is also very high. So accordingly, there are a lot of merits and demerits of the membrane technology. So generally in India, there are a lot of plants which are using this technology for treating the water, edible water. So basically, for the wastewater treatment, it is used. So as per the membrane separation concern, we may separate different kind of organic solvents and what are the mixtures by using membrane. So as per the membrane separation technology, there are a lot of advantages, like it is appreciably energy saving technique. Another is environmentally benign technique. The clean technology, it is eco-friendly. The operational is very easy, and it reduces the cost of the system. But simultaneously, the few disadvantages are like that the handling capacity is very poor. But this technique is very flexible in designing, as per the design concern. It produces very high and very nice quality products. So it may replace the processes like filtration, distillation, ion exchange, and the chemical treatment systems. So as per the membrane separation process concern, the membrane structure and morphology also playing important roles. In fact, rather I would say, use of membrane and kind of membrane we are using, it will decide the quality of the process or separation. So as per the microfiltration concern, now these diagrams, there are a lot of driving forces in membrane separation techniques. First is the TMP, that is the transmembrane hydrostatic pressure. Another is the concentration or electrochemical gradient. Third one is the osmotic pressure. Fourth one is the electrical field, and fifth one is the partial pressure. And also by using pH gradient, that is the sixth technique, we can separate the what are the solution by using this driving force. So as per the diagram concern, you can see this is the porous membrane. Let me zoom it. This is the symmetrical and asymmetrical membrane types, where we are getting the pores, and through which the separation is taking place. Basically, separation is depending upon the size of the membrane. So very simple example, we do have the lot of RO units. Reverse osmosis is the one of the best technique which is used in industries and as well as the domestic purposes. So this is the chart we can discuss through this chart, the size based fractionation processes. So by using microfiltration, ultrafiltration, and nanofiltration, and reverse osmosis. So generally, for removing of the total dissolved solids, we are using reverse osmosis process. If you will go through any domestic appliances, so RO water purifier is most the commonly used, where we can remove the dissolved salts like potassium, like sodium, so like calcium, like chlorides. So such a salts can be removed by using reverse osmosis. So microfiltration is basically used to remove the bacterial. It is the biological entities having the size 0.025 micrometer to 10.0 micrometer range. So generally these ranges are very important. Basically all operations are the same, but only the difference is the pore size and the membrane size, membrane type. So it is very simple. As the thickness of the membrane going to increase, the what are the pressure required would be increased. So less size of the membrane, the less pressure can be work. So accordingly, microfiltration, it is the process of removing the particle or biological entities. As I said, as per the size concern, I was talking about 0.025 micrometer to 10 micrometer range. So the pressure can be used in between 1 to 50 psi as a driving force. If the porous size of the membranes are smaller than the particle in the solution, surface filtration results. Now, uh, as per the ultrafiltration concern, ultrafiltration is the process of separating extremely small particles and dissolved molecules from the fluids. The primary basis for the separation is molecular size. Although in all filtration processes, the permeability of the filter medium can be affected by the chemical, molecular or electrostatic properties for the sample. Ultrafiltration can only separate molecules which differ by the least and order of the magnitude in size. Now, let us discuss about the what are the normal transmembranation pressure ranges. It is in between 10 to 100 psi. So, this process is used to remove the minute particles. So as per the industrial application concern, uh, there are a lot of industries where this technique is used to separate the proteins from buffer components for buffer exchange, desalting, then or concentration of the solutions. Ultrafilters are also used for ideally used for the removal of the exchange of sugars, non-aqueous solvents, the separation of the free from protein bound lesions, the removal of the material of the low molecular weight, or the rapid change of the ionic and pH environment depending upon the protein to be retained. So, depending upon the process requirement, we can use the ultrafiltration. Again, nanofiltration is the further part, which is not in syllabus, but again, you must heard about the nanotechnology. So, reverse osmosis, as I said earlier, this is the technique which is very commonly used for the treatment of the edible water to remove the total dissolved solids. So, by applying this transmembrane pressure to concentrate solution, it is possible to force the solvent through the RO membrane towards the lower concentration. So, osmosis and reverse osmosis are the controversy terms. So, here the driving force is from low pressure to high pressure. So, accordingly, uh, we can remove the TDS from the solution by using reverse osmosis process. So in the next lecture we will discuss about the other processes like ion exchange, electrostatic precipitation, pressure swing adsorption, uh, and one more technique, that is the supercritical fluid extraction technique. Thank you.